Ndlovu to Kaizer Chiefs has been confirmed by the club themselves. Maart is going to Austria. Gibril Sillah, kunzima nje, but a right winger could be signed by Kaizer Chiefs. Mabuza, there is a story that is about him. And we're also going to talk about the two boys, Luke Batman and Asanele Velepai, and what's going on with them. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. So we start today with this smile. A very powerful smile. I wonder how much these guys are getting paid, because you can see every Chiefs player who's been signed, the smiles are like, ah! You can just see they've seen checks that they've never seen in their lives. So Ndlovu has been confirmed as a signing for Kaizer Chiefs, and the reports are saying that he has signed a 3-year deal with Kaizer Chiefs. And how that works is it usually comes with an option to extend. And you understand why Ndlovu is signed with 3 years with an option to extend, because if you look at his age, he's 28 and he can still give you until 31, and then you can extend to 32 and then see how he's doing at that time. And this actually, I said yesterday on a TikTok live, I told people that I think Ndlovu is being signed because of depth, because basically I looked at his numbers and Maart's numbers, they're exactly the same. So I was like, nah, he's just there for depth because he's basically the same player as Maart. That was until Abo Fapos reported that actually Ndlovu is not being signed just because he's going to be competing with Maart for the same position, but is actually here to replace Maart. So according to reports, Maart is heading to Austria. That is why he hasn't traveled with Kaizer Chiefs and is left behind, because he's finalizing his move to Austria. Not Australia, Austria. And this makes me think of Usiyabonga Ngezana, because a lot of fans were saying, hey, Ngezana is a cow, he doesn't know ball. Boom, he goes to Europe. This just proves to us how much fans understand football, because these teams that are scouting these players, they are seeing things on these players. And that is why each and every coach that has coached Chiefs while Maart was at Chiefs, he's always on the starting 11. Why? Because he will always offer you something. I said to people, Maart might not offer you a 10 out of 10 each and every game, but it's going to give you a 7 out of 10, an 8 out of 10. He's consistent in what he gives you. And teams want to see that. Coaches want to see that. We don't want a player who's going to give you a 10 today, a 2 tomorrow. So it's always just unpredictable what you get. So I'm really happy for Maart, because not only is he getting a move that players dream of going abroad, but he's just going to be away from the noise, right? So I'm just happy for him, and he's going to go to a team that hopefully will appreciate him, rather than the fans who are always protecting their darlings and always just targeting Maart. While we're here, by the way, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a video. You know yourself, you've missed a video of this channel. Well, that's partly because you are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure to subscribe. Moving on to the next story, and that next story is obviously him. This guy, I want to read his name again. Gibril Sillah. Gibril Sillah. So this is a dude. He was playing for Azam, right? The same team that Faisal Salum plays for. So Gibril Sillah was playing for Azam. Mind what I just said, was playing for Azam until his contract expired 5 days ago. So now he's a free agent, and Kaizer Chiefs can basically sign him. And reports are suggesting that Kaizer Chiefs are looking to sign him. And remember, they just released Edson Castillo, or terminated the contract of Edson Castillo, which means there is space available for another foreign player to come to Kaizer Chiefs. So I checked his heat map, not heat map, but where it is kind of a heat map, because it tells you where the player usually plays, and he usually plays on the left side. But he's left-footed. And we know that left-footed wingers usually get played on the right. He was played on the left where he was playing. But if it comes to Chiefs, that will allow Lollipop, Ulilepo to play as a left winger, and then he can then come in and play as a right winger. Because I think that's what a lot of people have been saying, that right now what Chiefs are missing is a prolific right winger who can come in and do things. And for me, I was hoping that prolific right winger would be Monapule Saleng. A lot of people were hoping that would be the case, but we are now 5 days into the transfer window. No one has reported anything about Saleng coming to Chiefs. It's just quiet. We are just going to wait and see. Maybe Pirates will solve the problem of Saleng because he's still contracted to them, it seems like. So if he still has a contract with them, he can't just leave. So then it's either they're just going to continue playing this game of cat and mouse whereby Saleng is kept out because he doesn't want to play, because he is not being given the money that he wants. And then Pirates won't care because they are trying to make a statement. Remember, these teams don't really care about the feelings of the players, because at the end of the day, it's not a no work, no pay. They can still be paying him however much money that they are paying him, because for a footballer at Saleng's level, if you are telling me that Saleng earns 50,000, for us regular people, that's good money. But if you're a footballer with a career that ends at 40, that ends at 35 sometimes, why would you want to settle for 50,000 if you can come to Chiefs and earn 300,000? You understand me? So I think that Saleng is going to refuse to play for Pirates, and Pirates are going to refuse to give him a move, and then he's going to try and stay there and run down his contract, and that's not good for him. But then they are trying to make a point, both of them. In the meantime, that's why we're linked with Gibril Sillah in the meantime. Which then brings us to Mabuza, because I read an article which is frankly ridiculous, because it's saying that Umchita did not get signed by Kaizer Chiefs because when he came to Chiefs to do the trials, his team that he was playing for said, hey, we are going to they asked Chiefs for 10 million compensation, and then Chiefs were like, but we can't sign a player for 10 million while there's Munyane for free. I'm like, that's stupid. It doesn't make sense. Chiefs wouldn't do that, because first of all, Fapos reported that his team allowed him to leave because they were comfortable enough with him leaving, because obviously I'm guessing they had that position covered, or they just didn't need him. But on top of that, he just signed for another team. He joined another Portuguese team as a free agent. So why would the Portuguese team that Mihlali played for ask for money from Kaizer Chiefs, a South African team, but not ask for money from another team that would be a direct competition next year? So to me, that makes no sense. I think that thing is completely false. If you've read it, just look at the facts. It wouldn't make any sense for a team to try and charge for this player, because obviously they were letting him go. Another thing that we need to talk about and get to technicality is Luke Batman and Asanele Velepai. So we know, and we've talked about the fact that Chiefs wanted to agreed to sign them, right? So they agreed to sign them, but then their team, which is Cape Town City, was like, nah, fam, we Cape Town Spurs, they were like, nah, give us our kids. So, and I talked about it yesterday, and I said that yes, NSL, which is the Mtsepe Foundation, and the PSL are the professional leagues in South Africa. Once you're in Mtsepe and you're in the Hollywood bets and downwards, you are no longer professional. And then I saw some comments and some things on Twitter, people saying that it will get technical, because yes, it does get technical, because think of it this way. The rules state that you sign the contract as a professional. So the moment you go to an amateur league, the contract that you signed as a professional does no longer exist, but it should be terminated, which is something that Asanele Valipai and Luke Batman and the other players going to Amazul have done. They did send a formal letter of termination of their contract, but it could be also with Cape Town City. Cape Town Spurs could argue that, listen up here, Tina, we are in a situation whereby this contract was not just about you playing in the NSL. It doesn't directly stipulate that if you are playing in the PSL. It just says you are signing a contract with Cape Town Spurs, in which case, then they would have a case. However, if there is a clause, like a relegation clause, when we get relegated, to the third division, which is an amateur division, we will be free to leave. We see this happen all the time in Europe. I think Ushakir was playing for Stoke, and then when he signed for Liverpool, it was because there was a clause in his contract that said if Stoke were to be relegated, then he would be free to leave the team. Wherever, sometimes it's about, maybe they will say, I would leave for 5 million so that the team can still get money. In some cases, it's, I will just leave. So I hope that there were clauses on those contracts, because very obviously with these things, with law, it gets technical really fast. So we will see whether ETC committee will favor Chiefs or they will favor Cape Town Spurs. But what do you guys think about Velepai? Do you think he's worth the trouble? Look, Batman as well. Are they worth the trouble? And what are your thoughts on Ndlovu coming to Chiefs, and also Yusuf Maart leaving? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Have you subscribed? If you haven't, do so. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, Ikos Alpelumoy.